What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Average Guy's Gourmet. I'm Tony Rican, and today we're going to have some fun with soup. We're going to do a buffalo chicken corn chowder with a blue cheese gougere. So let's just go ahead and get started and jump right into this one. For this recipe, I'm starting with my gougere. Now I've already got my milk and butter in the pan. I'm going to go ahead and add to this my cayenne, my salt and pepper, then I'm going to go ahead and stir this while my butter melts, bringing everything to a boil. Now that everything is boiling, I'm going to go ahead and start adding my flour in and constantly stirring. Once it's all clumped up like this, I'm going to bring it over to my mixer and mix it for about a minute or so, and then I'm going to allow it to cool. So while that cooled down, I went ahead and preheated my oven to 425 degrees. I also beat 3 eggs, setting aside 1 tablespoon so I could baste the gougere before I put it in the oven. Now I'm going to go ahead and take those beaten eggs and start to mix them in, starting with 1/3, and when that's thoroughly beat in, I'm going to go ahead and start mixing the rest in along with the blue cheese. Once everything's thoroughly mixed, we're going to go ahead and start putting them in our baking dish. Once you have everything in the baking dish, you're going to just take a little bit of your egg you had set aside and brush it over the tops. Then we're going to go ahead and put these in the oven. You only want them in for 10 minutes at 425. Then you're going to turn the heat down to 350 for another 15 to 20 minutes. Now it's time for the soup itself. We're starting with the bacon. I'm going to go ahead and crisp this up in the pot I'm using to cook the soup in. We're going to save that bacon grease because I'm going to need it throughout the recipe. Now that the bacon's done, I'm ready to start my chicken. I've got 1 tablespoon of my bacon grease in there. I'm going to go ahead and add my chunked chicken. And I'm just going to sear it on all the sides, giving it a nice little cook. So what we did here with our hot sauce is I took 1 cup of my Frank's Red Hot and I melted 2 tablespoons of butter into it and mixed it together. Now that my chicken's gone for a couple of minutes in here, I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of this, add it to the chicken, and we're going to let it cook until this is completely absorbed. Now that our chicken's all cooked, I'm going to go ahead and add some of my bacon grease back in and start sauteing my vegetables. We're going to start with our onions. After about 5 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and add my garlic and saute that for a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to add in my potatoes and all of my seasonings. We're going to let this go for about 5 more minutes. and let that go for a couple of minutes. After about 5 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken broth, my milk, and my hot sauce. Now I'm going to let this simmer for about 15 minutes. After that, I'm going to ladle half of this soup into my blender and pulse it until it's nice and creamy. Then I'll add it back in. So our soup is done and it's ready to go. I mean, take a look at this. You can see I took my bacon, added in there some extra blue cheese, some diced green onion, and I got my Gougere in there. It's great for dipping, eating, or just spooning it up with the soup. So let's go ahead and dig into this and really give it a taste. This is awesome. You guys will love this. So go ahead and make it, and we'll see you next time.